Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 22nd day of August 2024. I hope this Thursday finds you and your family safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders every day, risking their lives to save lives, and those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless, more than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Yesterday, we talked about a possible 50, 40, 90 guy, a guy with serious talent to accomplish 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. And that same player, Mikal Bridges, is a high level, a top level defender in the NBA. He'll be playing the two guard position for the Knicks mostly, but he'll also be filling in at the three quite a bit. That's Mikal Bridges. But next to him, and this is what makes the Knicks a championship contender, is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, well, let's take a look at his career numbers. Jalen Brunson has averaged for his career, which has been 6 seasons, 49% from the field. He has averaged 39% from three and 82% from the line. He has averaged 17 points per game. But of course, 4 of those seasons he was coming off the bench. For the last 2, he's been a full-time starter for the New York Knicks. His first season with the Knicks in 22-23, when the Knicks won 47 games, he averaged 35 minutes a game. He averaged 49% from the field, 42% from three, and 83% from the line, scoring 24 points per game. Okay, that was his first year with the Knicks. Now, his second year, this past season, he averaged 35 minutes a game, but he went 48% from the field, which is still pretty much the same, 40% from the line, and 85% from 85% from the line, 40% from three, excuse me. And he averaged 29 points per game. Now, there's a difference though they seem similar. He played 68 games the first year with the Knicks. That means he missed 14 games. Last year he played 77 games, which means he missed 5 games. I do not expect him, and in both seasons he averaged 35 minutes a game, 35 minutes. I don't expect him to do that going forward. And the reason I don't is because this past season, I feel like he had to play more because of the injuries that the Knicks suffered. Both him and Deuce McBride played more, and they played more together, which is why even though Brunson averaged 35, you would expect Deuce to average something like 13 minutes a game. Deuce averaged 20 because a lot of times they were paired together because of injuries. So I'm expecting a slight drop in his usage, which would make him more efficient. So he probably could play 77 games, but I think it would be like at 32 minutes. Not at like which he had in Dallas the year before. His last year in Dallas, he started 61 games because of injury and played 32 minutes a game. That's more, to me, in line with longevity for him and efficiency in terms of his efficiency. So I'm thinking that he's going to be, because when he played that in Dallas, he shot 50% from the field, 37% from three, and he shot 84% from the line. So he's generally 83, 84% free throw shooter. But a guy that's always working hard, a guy that's really focused offensively more than defensively, which is Jalen Brunson, I wouldn't be surprised if he became a 50, 40, 90 guy. Especially now he's going to be 27 years old in his prime, So I'm thinking he's going to be, is it going to be 28? I think he might be 28 this year. Let me just double check that. His birthday is August 31st. So yeah, he's gonna be 28. So he's in the thick of his prime right now. And so you have Jalen Brunson, who took, and I expect to continue to take 21 shots a game. He averaged, which is still very efficient, 29 points a game on 21 shots a game. Shooting again for last year, 48% from the field, 40% from three, and 85% from the line. So I'm expecting him to be more efficient, even, which is hard. So you look at him and McCall Bridges offensively, they're tremendously efficient. Tremendously efficient. It's amazingly efficient. It's scary, actually. Defensively, Brunson just needs to hold his own. He's not going to focus on defense. And generally what the Knicks do is they do hide him. And a lot of guys keep talking about hiding as if you could hide more than one. You cannot hide too many players in the NBA. You will get attacked, okay? But what the Knicks do is they hide Brunson so that Brunson is usually guarding the guy that's going to stand in the corner for the utility guy for the three. Okay. And then out front, you're going to have, whoever. This year, you're going to have McCall Bridges and OG Anunoby guarding whoever's at the point of attack. Okay. Which is going to lock down the point of attack. And so Brunson is not going to be the guy, obviously, chasing the other team's best player. He's not going to be doing that. And purposely, because you don't want him doing that, because his strength, obviously, is offense. So you're going to have Brunson surrounded by, and I'm going to say four defenders, because I don't know why some of you are tripping on Juju. Juju's going to play some defense. He already has shown that. I don't know. It's amazing how people forget. People are looking back on Julius Randle from 2 or 3 years ago instead of last year and the year before, which is last 2 years. He's been playing defense, and he stepped it up a several notches when OG Anunoby came. So Juju was playing defense. It's just that Juju was saving. Like I said, he was saving himself offensively because in the first 2 year Tibbs, offense was Julius Randle. That was the offense. Okay. And so now you got players all around him, like Brunson. And last year you had DiVincenzo and then OG. When you have all that, Juju don't need to save himself offensively. And he won't. He's a team player. So he's going to, and all you talking that selfish stuff, that was 3 years ago. Okay. We need to catch up and stop being like Mustard. He really is a team player. He's a mature player, and he's going to play defense. So you're surrounding Brunson with four guys that are going to play defense. Okay, and then you still got four guys coming off the bench that all could play defense. So this is with Brunson. He's the only guy you got to hide, and you ain't got to hide him that bad. Like, he's not by any stretch an all-NBA NBA defender. No, he's not. But he's not he's not that bad. He's going to stay in front of his man. And again, they're not going to have him guarding the best players, So when you're playing a team like Boston, okay, you're playing the Boston. Okay, so you're going to have Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and this is what makes Boston dangerous. You got Derek White, Jrue Holiday, you got Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench. And then you got Brown and Tatum, two all-NBA high-level players. And then, of course, you got Kristaps Porzingis. And then you got Al Horford. So it's hard to hide Brunson in that scenario. And what you do in that scenario is you keep shading double team to get the ball out of the guy's hands that Brunson is guarding. And and Brunson has got to do his best to try to keep guys out the paint. It's tough. That's a tough matchup for Brunson. But of course, on the other side of the coin, it's a tough matchup for Boston as well. It's tough on both sides. And that's really who we targeting right here. Because there's no other team that we need to worry about, in my view. You could hide Brunson against anybody else but the Celtics. But the Celtics got to guard OG, Juju, Brunson, McCall, and they got to watch the lob to Mitchell Robinson. They got to do all that. Okay, so that's the only team, and that's the team really we got to be dealing with in the Eastern Conference. But Brunson as a possible 40, 50, 90. So you imagine you got to get a guy that's a possible 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. To get one guy like that, you have a tremendous asset, on your team. But to have two of them, And that's what the Knicks have. They have two of them, two guys that could do that. Okay, and maybe even a third if you count OG Anunoby, because I'm not sure how good OG is as far as 90% from the line. He is good from the line, but I know OG can be a definitely 50-40 guy. But the only part is I'm not sure about the 90 part. OG averages 75% from the line. So he's not like the 90% shooter from the line. He's not no slouch from the line. But you got two guys in Mikal Bridges and Brunson in your starting lineup that are 50, 40, 90 potential. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then you got two guys in OG. Well, no. You got three guys in Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges that could be all NBA defense. That's not even including Deuce McBride coming off the bench. Then you got two guys in Brunson and Jewel that are both been all NBA and all stars and are in their primes. I don't know. This is, but Brunson as a 50, 40, 90 potential, which he does legit have, as a guy that can shoot efficiently on 21 shots a game, there's a guy that can play 77 games. And that's the thing. All of those Villanova boys, when you're talking about Mikal, Brunson, Devo, and Hart, all of those Villanova boys can play 70 to 81, 82 games. All of them. Okay? So you got availability with them. They're familiar with each other. And then in Brunson, you got a 50, 40, 90 guy that's, 50, 40, 90 possibility that's a machine there. And a clutch player. He's been in the clutch conversation each of the last 2 years that he's been the head of the Knicks. When I say head, I mean, he's officially the captain now, but it was his team when he signed. Okay? It was his team when he signed. And so that, brethren, is tremendous, especially a backcourt like that. Again, the only backcourt that matches up with the Knicks like that is Boston. See, Boston got all five guys are two-way players. That's of their starters. And then you got Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench with Hauser and Sam Hauser, and you got a couple of guys, but those five guys, you got Derek White's two-way, Jrue Holiday's two-way, Jalen Brown is two-way, Jason Tatum is two-way, and even Kristaps Porzingis is two-way. He don't have the lateral ability, to really move laterally, but as far as a help defender, as far as protection of the rim, and then of course we know he could score, but that's why they got the chip. Well, the Knicks have, 4 two-way players, but they can match up with Boston. I'm not worried. Like I said, I've never been worried about Boston, and I ain't worried about Boston now. Okay. But with JB, you got a clutch dude. His footwork speaks for itself. Hall of Fame level, all-time level footwork. You want to know about what footwork looks like offensively? When I talk about footwork, Jalen Brunson, he should be in the dictionary next to NBA level offensive footwork. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, there's some dudes with some footwork now, like DeMar DeRozan. That's why everybody in the world knows he's going to take his shot around the foul line area and nobody can stop him because his footwork is legendary. Legendary. There's some guys with some footwork now, but Jalen Brunson's right there. Right there. Everybody in the world knows he's going to go left and you can't stop him. You can't do nothing about it. Okay? Everybody in the world knows he's going to shoot. You can't do nothing about it. He's going to get a shot in the key. You can't do nothing about it. And he's only 6'1", like 6'1", 6'2", and you can't do nothing about it. It's because of how high level the footwork is on this guy. And of course, we know he's a tremendous shooter from all three levels. Three-level shooter. When you're talking about 50, 40, 90 possible guys, these are three-level scorers because they're scoring of all three levels. Field goal, three-pointer, foul line. That's what you're talking about. And this is Jalen Brunson. So you're putting Brunson next to defensive stalwarts. And all he has to do is stay healthy. That's my concern, which is why I would not be surprised if we saw not a huge decline. I'm not talking about him going to 30 minutes. I'm really talking about him going to about 32 minutes, which makes a big difference over the course of a long grind, which is the NBA season. So if he can get like 32 minutes, we might even see him for 80 games. He takes a lot of punishment. But the Knicks this year coming into camp with 9 solid guys and 2 solid. And that's the thing. The Knicks have a 9-man rotation, and they have the depth, which the other 2 guys, which is going to be Cameron Payne and Jericho Sims, provide. They got depth on their rotation. So the rotation is 9-man solid. Then you got depth. They're coming into this season, with some firepower this year. They don't have to have superstars at every position, but they certainly play well as a team. And they got, again, Jalen Brunson, high level IQ, high level basketball IQ. Again, it goes with his footwork, high level intelligence on the basketball floor, along with Mikal Bridges, along with OG Anunoby. High level intelligence on the basketball floor. It's going to be something else to watch. It really is. Jalen Brunson, and he's going to be ready. Obviously, the hand is healing. He's ready to go. He's going to be ready to go come opening night. Him, Carl, OG, Mitch Rob, Juju. Then you got Precious, Hart, Devo, Deuce. Yeah, we ready. You'll enjoy your Thursday. So.